Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Commentary as Magic Stream on today's Sunday, August 11th, 2024. I am, as always, Grandpaws.
Biggies?
Arcat, and?
I'm Ivory. I'm traveling.
Hi, Traveling.
I have
I'm
Traveler. I get a...
Okay, there was one brain cell.
How many power counters have you gotten so far?
I'm at 3.
Okay.
Did all of us go for the dad joke?
I was thinking it, and then you opened up, and I'm just like, welp. There
Everyone
it is.
thought it.
Yep. All right. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's jump into first things first. It is 2 weeks until Continentals. Well, it's 2 weeks until Continentals Top Cut at Everfree, which is exciting.
And
How is
Bugle,
it so close?
Bugle. The brain cell, no. The brain cell's ours. Give it back.
You can have your turn when we're done with it. So anyway, Continentals, 2 weeks, Everfree, woohoo, lots of awesome events, and we're going to be talking about the decks we're going to play. But we did this thing that we normally swore we'd never do, and then we did it anyway. Why did we do the thing?
Because non-diverse meta bad Simangi.
Yeah, basically.
Because when someone tells you.
Yes, when someone tells you, hey, there's a busted combo, you should probably do something about it. Anyway, so I think earlier this week we pushed the button here.
Yeah, I believe it was Thursday.
So, these two jokers. No, not allowed anymore. Patch, of course, is just going completely bye-bye, and but Patch is also part of the new generation, and Dodgy Shopkeep is one of the prize wheel cards, so that's also going bye-bye. There's a couple of other random things that got fixed in there. And there's full justifications for why these cards are getting removed, but you can see also in here what the replacements for them are.
Normally, we sit there and try to give at least 4 weeks from the time that a ban is announced until the time that it goes into effect, because we want to make sure that players know that we're not doing this to provide any type of competitive advantage to ourselves by having internal information about what's going on. I can say with 100% certainty that was not the case here. We were not doing this for any competitive advantages. In fact, we only made this decision last minute and had conversations at about 1:30 in the morning because the sheer gravity of the situation became apparent.
Oh, I guess the meta is just going to be this one deck. That doesn't sound like a fun time. Just...
History has proven that's a bad time.
Yeah,
Generally don't want that.
Right. Given the choice between breaking with our normal announcement schedule and making these cards available in a fixed version, or letting them exist in their current form and having 90% of the field, and I do mean 90% of all the decks out there, there were 2. It looked like there were more than that. There were not. There were 2. Just sweep the tournament, especially right after a format rotation, would have been absolutely devastating.
So let's maybe not do that.
Right.
Anyway, so...
Let's let people explore and have fun and bring your own unique strategy.
You can't have Frogurt, though. No free Frogurt.
No free Frogurt. Now, we understand that... Sorry, go ahead.
Then the other one... I'm going to be honest, I'm happier with this art. I don't know who Patch is. It's just some random background punny. You've probably heard of this one, though.
But they have a weird face.
Comet's a goofball. Leave him alone.
Comet's great.
Literally.
I still prefer his D art though.
Comet is a goofball. So,
But yeah, this is exactly the same except for exhaust.
this one was an easy fix. Shopkeep was a little bit trickier, but we're confident that at the very least for Continentals here, it's not going to be an issue. And by releasing both of these reformed versions immediately, decks that were using either of these cards in far more fair manners than the two combo decks in question should not really be punished for including them, even if they show up not expecting these bans to be live.
Yeah, patch should have 0 impact, basically. Like, it's really hard for it to matter. Shopkeep is a bigger change, but it's still reasonable in the decks that run it.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of flexibility with the new version.
Yeah, the new version might actually end up going in more deck types than what the previous one did, if players are willing to explore and experiment this close to, the actual tournament, which, I mean, for the rest of you, you have 2 weeks. For us, we've got -9 minutes.
And we made use of all of it.
We were actually making we were making use of that up to like 7 minutes ago. So
So anyway, just wanted to make sure that people understood why that announcement was being made. Trust us, it is for the best of everyone's experience at Everfree and watching. Okay.
so
now,
Everfree.
Yeah, talk to us about Everfree.
So there's a convention. It's going on in a little under 2 weeks. You should go, but if you're honestly, you were probably already intending to go, or it's not possible. So yeah, we're running Continentals at Everfree again.
Woohoo.
Hooray! Yeah.
There's a couple of other things going on. We've got a Neighlander, which is Harmony. A Neighlander, of course, is 75 cards, one ofs only, Final Destination, etc.
Well, one ofs only, asterisk.
Okay, but I believe that the Pukwudgie deck has been explored sufficiently to determine that it's a bad deck and never needs to be run ever again.
Correct.
Yep.
No, it hasn't. Everyone has to run Pukwudgie so that we have as much data as possible.
I don't know what more data you would really want. Bad deck is bad. Don't run the
All of
Pukwudgie
it.
deck.
Everything, including all the data, must Pukwudgie.
Let's
Must-
see.
must
And I
look
think
like-
we've got some of the other usual suspects here. There's a Cube. Everyone loves Cube.
I like Cube.
And what's the other one? Sealed?
Sealed.
Yes.
Old sealed.
So old Sealed. How old are we talking here?
Yes.
All the S? Not just Premiere, I hope. It's not just Premiere.
You have to use just Premiere. Everyone else gets other stuff from Premiere Block.
I mean,
I don't know if that's better or worse.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly
I'm-
fine with this as long as I open 2 RTOs and proceed to rearrange the field with it.
I'm
That would
not
be
sure.
the most rigged seal pool in existence.
I am not sure how I feel about Canterlot Knights Limited. That set is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's bad for everyone. That's why
That
it's
was
great.
my first pre-release.
I
It was
disagree.
mine.
I enjoyed the pre-release format was a little bit weird. I really enjoyed the draft environment for Premiere and Canterlot Knights.
Premier's draft environment was great. I despised Canterlot Knights' draft environment.
What?
The entry was all so terrible.
Yes, the entry was atrocious. There was less entry relative to the size of the set in Canterlot Knights than in any other set.
Good luck having a playable deck.
Right.
I never drafted Canterlot Knights. My first limited pool was Crystal Games.
You know
Crystal
what?
And I didn't really start doing it for serious until Absolute Discord, and at that point you could actually draft real decks.
True. I'm also not sure whether or not I prefer CG Limited over CN Limited, because CG Limited fixed the problem of there not being entry, but it created the problem of all of your entry being really bad.
But at least
Chris-
you had it.
You had it, but
And
you felt
everybody's-
horrible about it.
But everybody's entry was bad.
It was, but it still felt bad.
Yeah.
That's the same argument I just used for why Canterlot Knights draft was fine, because it was bad for everyone.
If it's bad for everyone, it slows you down by a turn because you have to spend 3 for your entry friend instead of 2. If it's not existent, you don't play half the game.
Yeah. That's the difference.
Yep. But anyway, an older sealed format.
An older sealed format. We'll figure it out.
Nostalgia. Oh, and then, since we're running events and stuff, I guess we should probably give out some prizes. Yeah. And promos. You like promos?
I like promos.
I like
What do we
promos.
got?
Have we shown these before? I don't remember.
Promos are
showing
nice.
These before. Anyway, look at this bat.
I showed them.
Flutterbat.
Bat.
Right.
This one eats at apples, not mangoes. Also this thing.
Aww.
Yay.
That ship.
Yeah. It's about to sink though.
Yeah.
Look at Cal. Yeah, he's like, what's going on?
Callus is just like,
I can't fly with a fish on me.
I am not rated for water immersion.
He forgot his floaties.
This is such a good card.
It is. That's good art. That's good. That's going to be really good.
So look forward to those. The usual con primer. Let's talk. I don't know how many of you haven't been to a con since Bab's Con or longer, but let's go over the basics. Bring extra dice and sleeves. You will split a sleeve. If you split a sleeve and do not have a replacement, you will be sad.
You will be sad, or you will have to pay us $11, and then I will give you katana slaves.
And you have to completely
Do we
re-sleeve
have
your
any
deck.
left?
Yeah, we still got a couple. Not many. Actually, we might not have any left.
I don't think we do. Anyway,
Do not bring extra sleeves and also $11.
yeah.
How much is the entry for the events?
Oh, this will be the usual thing. The constructed events will be $5, and the cube, of course, is all of your love given to pages.
And then sealed is what, 20?
It'll be 20.
Yeah.
Basically, as usual.
Right.
Cool.
And then for the rest of the con, drink water. Eat actual real meals, ones that involve silverware.
Take showers?
Take breaks. See the rest of the con. Take showers.
Sleep?
Optional.
Eh,
Recommended, but optional. And then, at least in the Seattle area, there is elevated COVID samples in the wastewater for the past 2 weeks or so. Consider wearing a mask. I don't believe the con requires them, but just help yourself out a bit.
I know that at least half the people on this stream right now, well, maybe not half, but a third of the people on this stream or participating in chat are recovering from COVID right now.
I know.
All we heard was random noises
Yeah.
from Ivory.
What you want to run that one by us again, Ivory?
I said, you know that it's half of us because you and I have both had it.
That's true. I'm recovering from it, you're recovering from it, and Bugle's recovering from it, so
Dang.
yeah. So if you're gonna get COVID, I would highly suggest get COVID now and then have your 2 weeks of recovery, and then you're fine for the con. Please do not actually get COVID now. I am not a licensed health professional. Please do not take anything Sim says as medical advice. This is a terrible idea. Just wash your hands and mask up.
Yep. All right, so now for the thing they actually want to talk about.
What the heck are we
Deck
doing?
list.
Decks or something.
We're running decks.
All right. Standard procedure here. You want to run through it, or do you want me to do it?
Go for it.
All right. So before we actually get into what we're running, we're going to take a moment. We're going to remind everyone why we do this. To state the obvious, the four of us here are players just like the rest of you, mostly, because R is judging this year.
Dance puppets.
It's true. And even though this is a little bit selfish, we do like to play in major events ourselves because our love of playing this game is a big part of why we organize events and, design these cards and make emergency ban fixes and all that. We hope you don't blame us for wanting to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Playing in the events we organize could seem like a conflict of interest because maybe we're planning on unloading some secret combo deck and wrecking the meta. I hope the recent ban announcement is proof that that is not the case. But just in case you were thinking that. Or maybe we just want to take all the promos for ourselves. No, please, take the promos. We have so many promos.
Seriously, make these things go away. I'm getting sick of these things plugging up an entire shelf.
Yeah.
Or don't, and make Ara have to figure out how he's storing them.
He will store them in other people's luggage. TSA will open for an inspection, and there will just be like a dozen Gallus and Silverstream promos that'll just surprise.
Well, not those things. You're going to be going home with like 50 copies of Trixie Rock Farmer.
True.
Hithrock will be so ecstatic.
Anyway, that is also not the reason why we do this, and it's part of why we present our decks in advance to be transparent and to give other players the chance to adapt. You could view this as us boasting. We're so confident that we can show you what we're running 2 weeks ahead of time. No.
See
we were not
previous
joking.
discussion about going 2 minutes beyond stream start time and still discussing decks.
Yeah, like literally right up until the stream went live, we were still picking decks. So we're agonizing over it, and I did the thing that Bugle said I was going to do, which was to be committed to a deck until the last 24 hours and then pivot last minute to something completely different. But it's his own dang fault, so I'm not taking the blame for that one. Anyway, to keep us from actually going mad, we do give ourselves a little bit of flexibility here. So up to 5 cards from the list that we are displaying right now can be swapped out with something else in each of our lists. It used to be a little bit smaller than that. Now it's 5 because sideboard 5 makes sense. We hope that we're being as transparent as possible about our intentions and our goals, and we also hope that everyone has as much fun as we are going to playing in these events. Oh, Pancake also has COVID. Yeah, okay. Cool.
Okay, so now we get to talk about the actual decks, right?
Yes, now we talk about the actual decks. So we're starting with Neighlander, I believe?
Yep.
All right. For those of you who did hold on to a single brain cell since BabsCon, like me, you did not completely disassemble your Neighlander deck. And you held on to it and viewed it as like, hey, I will make small alterations to this over time because building this was a pain in the butt. And I don't want to have to do that from scratch again.
Well, you banned my first one.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. So I played Sandbar and Yona, blue-white resource-based aggro last time. It was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed it. There aren't a whole lot of tweaks to be made here. There's a couple of things that are nice. I'm definitely running Izzy Moonbow because that card is crazy. And a couple of nice white events, a few additional resources for some support, like a few tweaks here and there, but this is mostly just an updated version. I will say that playing a singleton aggro list format at Babs was one of my highlights of this game in the last 5 years. There was just something so pure and so straightforward and so enjoyable about this, and even though I didn't win the game, just the lines of play and the experience was just great overall. If you have not played Neighlander and you have the time and you have the collection to be able to put something together, please do so. It is really, really fun. So I'm going to put hats on ponies, and then I'm going to move those ponies around, and hopefully this will score me points. And that's
if it
what I
doesn't,
got.
at least they'll be very fancy.
This is true. They will be the fanciest boys.
This has cybernetic wing actuator, right? Yes, it does.
does.
Okay, or limb. Sorry.
I don't know if I'm going to be running Unicorn Crystal. I'll have to think about it. I need to see how many unicorns are here in the deck. There's a fair number.
Crystals.
I can justify that.
Crystals.
There's a lot of rarities.
Crystals.
Bugle wants you to run Dressmaker.
I am not running Dressmaker.
That main is so bad.
But I want to make dresses.
I can make dresses with these two. Sandbar can make dresses. Yona can model them.
Or the other way around if they want to.
Also very true. All right. What's everyone else running?
How about cheese?
I am running. Izzy is cute. This is a burb-ish deck. And basically just pink, purple control. There's a lot of cards in here that I think all have seen play in previous pink or purple control decks. Probably every single one except for the new cards.
So I would like to ask a question about one of the cards in this deck, if I may.
No.
Are you ready to get banned or get disqualified?
What's that one doing right there?
Yeah, that one. That one right there, third from the right, top row.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's the sound of cheese getting disqualified.
Yeah, Ponyhead doesn't have the new card yet.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
It's not. It should have shown up correctly then.
Comment.
Control F5.
Not patch.
Well, no, but patch shouldn't have shown up.
Oh yeah, maybe your cache issue. Anyway, so cheese is disqualified, so.
Yep.
But no, you said pink purple control.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, patch. No patch. Comment.
Are you ready to separate your AT for all team organizer?
I will immediately spend it.
No, you
Every
have to
time.
bank it.
You are running ATO. Wow, this is a blast from the past, huh?
I'm running the good AT gens except for Trixie because
Trixie is not a good AT gen.
Trixie is a fine AT gen.
she's okay.
Trixie's fine.
Okay.
Like, you gotta play
When you get outclassed by all team organizer,
ATO.
I don't think I would agree that ATO is better than Trixie.
ATO is better than Trixie because it actually gives you AT. Trixie doesn't guaranteed give you AT. And like this deck has a reasonable number of events, but like not a ton.
Maybe in this list I would agree with that only because there's not a crazy amount of events, but in normal control purple lists, I would argue that Trixie is better.
Yeah, if you have enough events, Trixie is better.
Oh, and we've got the Menuet blinking shenanigans going on. Gross.
And there's a decent number of cards in here that have good on-enters play abilities.
Mayonnaise, Luna's Future, IDP, yeah. All right.
Study session.
Oh, not that again.
Because you gotta.
Study session breakdown, gross.
Yeah.
I mean, you do kind of gotta.
Gotta. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Oh, well, and assuming I have time to build it, hopefully I do.
okay. Mine then?
Yep.
Alright. I'm being uncreative here. This is Ivory's list from Babs with What did I get rid of? It's Professor of Loyalty and I don't think it was Grandpa Gruff. There's something else that I got rid of for Pastry Crest and Marcel.
You should do one other swap.
Why?
Because you should have Sunny and Argyle.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one.
That would require me to find something to remove.
You have this event right here called what is that called again? Sunset Festival? Or no?
Now, Aura gets to run Sunset Festival. Let Aura run Sunset Festival.
That being said, I don't know if I'm going to actually be running in this event because there's a lot of plush-related things going on Friday. And I'm going to be judging for the rest of the con, so I would like to actually have a con.
That's fair. Blue Pink was pretty good though.
It went Neum.
It did go Neum.
It does.
This is Neum.deck.
And then did you see the things that changed?
Yeah. Oh, and then we're just back to the old version.
Yeah, I haven't bothered to actually figure out what I'm switching out for the Babs list, so I'm just gonna put the Babs list here. And I'll decide what 5 cards I'm changing later. It's gonna be Bluna Pink again though, because that's already assembled, and I'm not building another one of these.
Yep. The initial investment is real high. I really wanted to sit there and build a Muffin Mare Blue Elves list and use Angry Mob and all kinds of other shenanigans. It was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be sweet. And then I stopped and thought about it for 0.3 of a second and was like,
I'm going to keep that one around, but I'm not going to use it in person.
You gotta build your Continentals deck, and then I'm sure you're gonna build like 3 other decks for people.
Correct.
If he wasn't already building all these other people decks, it probably would have been able to happen, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a whole lot to really say here. Bluna Pink, so good, especially with how good a lot of these cards still are to this day.
Blue Pink does Blue Pink things.
I wonder if people would actually hold it against us to run a only 5-card swap for Neighlander, or if they'd give us a little more flexibility.
75 cards swap.
Nah, I'm pretty sure we don't need more than 5 cards here.
Counting problem deck too? The problem deck's probably pretty good.
What am I going to change in the problem deck?
The Blue Pink problem deck has been...
There are some... I think there's some good new ones.
This one looks pretty okay.
Yeah, but this problem deck is also known. Like, this has been optimized.
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably not... You're right. For the Bluna list, this one probably doesn't have anything that changes. I had one problem that changed. Anyway, build a Neighlander deck and then keep it in a deck box in the back of your closet and just bring it out to the cons when we actually play, because it really is fun. Don't disassemble them.
Unless they ban your main.
Unless they ban your main. Which main did we ban?
You'll be fine.
We banned Twilight.
You're not allowed to run spell for that.
Yeah, spell for that.
Because that was stupid. We did that right away. It was dumb. That was dumb. Okay. Anyway, so that's Neighlander Continentals.
Continentals, of course, being Core 4.0, so brand new meta. What's going to be in it? Who knows?
We've had what, a month, a little bit more to like be actually building with this current core.
Yeah, that's about right.
I think Coco just finished, so I can post the results for that at some point.
Bugle says counter logic. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that.
All right. First up.
Sure. Okay. So this is the list that I'm going to be running for Continentals, or at least pretty close to it. Blue's Frighten package has been talked about almost to death, and yet you're going to hear it again because it's really, really good. When you are running Phyllis and Misty and Tactical Maneuver and some other method of Frighten, in this case I'm running Grogar's Lair along with Lord Tyrek himself and some epic troublemakers. Like, if your opponent is playing a friend-based deck, you are going to be able to dramatically slow them down. I especially like Grogar's Lair in conjunction with the Frighten list because it stops them from doing the thing that a lot of decks want to do, which is, oh, well, I'm not going to bother rallying my friends. I'll just save up for a couple turns and have a burst turn and then, play out my whole hand. Well, if every card in your hand is taxed by 1 or 2 AT, then, that's not even necessarily a viable option. You've also got Allura and Twitch in here, who generate tremendous amounts of card advantage when you are frightening friends, which is obviously very good. And sometimes very bad, because then you end up drawing way too much. So, Legion's in there as kind of a finisher to get rid of friends that you really don't want your opponent to hold on to, but also serve as your method of point acceleration. And Bottled Dragonfire also just generates value, but it's that card next to Bottled Dragonfire, that Cantor Logic Factory. This card was a little bit of a sleeper at the start of this meta, and you are going to see this card in a number of different lists, and if you have a means of being able to include this card, I highly recommend it. Because being able to move any character for free while also disrupting multiple players' discard piles to prevent recursion from things like Izzy is insanely good. And if you've got other payoffs, like with Allura and Twitch or Spike, where you can get some value out of the magic counters, all the better. My one concern with this particular list is that it's pretty light on the number of friends it's running. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But there are a couple different ways that you can build lists like this. There's a list that is purple instead of blue as the primary, that is focusing more on tempo and just gaining sheer value. And this one is more focused on disruption and then, supplementing that with value. So this one leans a little bit more towards control. It is absolutely a control deck.
Is this the year of the Frightened deck?
It might be. When you get action tokens and cards for frightening friends, Frighten suddenly looks a lot better. So, shrug, we'll see. I don't know. All I'm going to say is I was not on this list. I had a list that was very similar to this, and I enjoyed it. But I just wasn't sure that it was going to be able to build enough points early. And Cantor Logic, I think, is the secret. I think it is an absolutely exceptional card, and I would highly recommend for anyone out there to have either an answer or a strategy around your discard pile being used against you, because there are going to be players trying to do that.
Consider yourself warned.
Yeah. That's what I got.
All right. How about Cheese?
Izzy is still cute. Izzy Orange. This is.
Did you hear that?
Hold on. We have to fix your list again.
Yeah, not my fault. Ponyhead wasn't updated.
That doesn't count.
You run Ponyhead. What are you even talking about?
Anyway. Izzy Orange. This is close to what was run at HithCon, but I think there's like 4 cards different, about maybe 5.
Mm-hmm. It's somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
There we go. That's
Yep.
nice and legal.
But yeah, it's mid-range. It does things.
Mid-range does mid-range things. Moves at 11.
Yep.
Modpie and Mudbriar are pretty irritating for the Frightened deck to deal with because you just make rock tokens and you don't care.
Yeah.
The only blue and the only purple in this list is the one Cantor Logic Factory.
Yep. But it's so easy to get.
I said Cantor Logic is good. And it is.
Both, or not both, but like, because it's both Get Prepared and Ray of Hope make this very easy to get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Izzy can get back Ray of Hope, so even if I have to use it for other stuff, like, it's just good.
I'm gonna go too far. Alright.
Yep, not much else.
Okay, over to me. So, what I'm playing is the field, obviously, because I'm not actually, in there. But I stole the uniform list from HipCon. I don't really want to deal with control or mid-range, and straight aggro I don't think is in a particularly good position right now, especially with all the mid-range and control running around. And this requires fewer brain cells. I only have the 1.
Well, no, you have 2 because Yuna doubled them.
Yeah, and you're gonna need 2 of them for judging.
I'm going to need significantly more of them for judging, yes.
All of the brain cells that Aura has are present on Clatpuff right there.
But you have to dedicate at least a few to the judge joke.
Oh, that's true. You have to do the judge joke this year.
You got 2 weeks to figure it out.
You're going to hate me so much.
Ask ChatGPT.
CG's Aura can put updated cards in his list.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's the only actual change.
Aura cheated because he pushed the update to Pony it.
Correct.
Oh, you should have done it first.
I mean, how much noise did we make about this and you didn't control a 5? Just SM my head.
There was no need. Everybody knew what it meant.
This one does look pretty good. Uniform is silly.
Who's going to claim the salt? Well, it depends on how many people we have this year. If we can get 24, we do top 16?
Yeah, if we get 24, we do top 16. So, invite everyone. Canada's been doing their part in that they have been thrusting the deck building responsibility upon me, and then I just become a pack mule for them.
Okay, then Ivory. Which is... I think the same list as Cheese?
No, it is not.
No?
No. The whole... We went 2 minutes over time for start just to be able to do this.
No,
do you not remember?
No, I don't. Here. Okay, there we go.
This one.
Yay, there it is. That's the right one, right?
There you go.
It's not loading on mine because of my connection. Okay, yeah, that looks correct.
Cadence.
Yeah, Cadence Blue. Gonna go with some Cadence Blue. mid-range-ish aggro. You got the Frightened package, of course. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed like a good option to go with. Misty and Izzy are super good. Sunny and Argyle is still my favorite card in the set, and so I gotta run that. And it's done pretty well in the past, so I figured let's see how it does now with only print and play cards.
Caught 2 different Izzies in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
You got some good problem replacement still, and you can find your rules technicalities, which will be No, Ivory. Cadence Blue is only 1 color away from being able to run Counter Logic Factory.
But then I'll be running resources, and I can't run resources
That's true. That's true.
Why can't you run resources?
You're not allowed.
because resources are a liability.
Resources aren't friends.
Gotta run friends and events just how God intended.
Correct. Look at all these cute ponies. There are so many.
Yeah, they're great.
Some of those aren't ponies.
And then Sunny and Argyle hits, and everything is 7 power, and I cry.
Everyone is so excited to be there except for Misty in that one card art. She looks really freaked out.
She's high.
She is high.
Does Gilda look happy to be there?
I
I don't think Gilda looks happy to be there.
She's happy in her own way.
What about Sprout? Sprout does not look particularly enthused.
Sprout's not a real pony.
I mean, Sprout's also about to make a Giga Brain move here. I don't know, I don't think Silverstream looks too happy either. She's like cowering in the water. I guess he'll just have to get the promo version.
I thought you were talking about the one with the
The
bucket. I was
bucket,
like,
yeah.
what are you talking
So-
about?
She's so proud of her bucket.
She's so proud of it that's even her subtitle. She has a bucket. Look at her.
She does.
Look at the bucket.
She does has a bucket. Tactical Maneuver is my favorite flavor in the set. Yeah. It's a good one. All right. There we go. We got some pink. We got some blue. We got some yellow. We got some orange. We got some purple. We got some white. Every single color is present among the list that we would be playing.
Who's running white?
I am. I've got Legion.
Sure.
Technically counts.
More or less.
Not enough for it to count as a white deck, but there is white there.
I don't know.
Somebody better bring a Pip deck.
Well,
You know, at least one person will be running Pip.
I know one person's going to be running Pips. I don't know if Hithrock is going to run Pip. I think the
Yes.
answer to this is yes, but
I'm pretty sure he will. It's a good control lane, and he'll probably play control.
or someone could bring Yonabar. We'll see.
That's well, someone's bringing taxes, so that,
Growth.
that's going to be fun for that person.
That's
know
the
what
point. That's the point of a taxes deck, is that you have fun by like removing all the fun.
You don't remove all the fun; you just make the fun completely unaffordable.
By removing all the fun. Yes.
You put the fun behind a paywall.
Paywall.
All right.
Okay. Well, I think that's it.
It's gonna be interesting. Also, one last thing for Continentals, we are still potentially looking for up to one additional commentator for Swiss rounds in the afternoon. So if you are unfortunately not able to attend Everfree and you are interested in helping to provide some remote commentary, there are perks for doing so. And you also become horse famous, because it will live on the internet forever. As long as we remember to save the VOD.
Are we say we're paying an exposure?
Among other things.
I mean, there is an exposure-based component of the compensation package here, yes.
Yeah.
See question mark.
So just send one of us a message on Discord or make a post about it in the con channel. Anyway, I think that will about wrap up our discussion on this topic for today. We would like to give a big shout out to all our patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your regular support. If you aren't currently a patron and you enjoy what we do, please consider donating. Doing so does enable us to continue making content and lets you earn some great perks as a bonus. If you have comments or questions you'd like to send our way, feel free to reach out to us through Facebook, Twitter, or email. If you're a patron, you can also chat live with us on Slack any day, anytime, especially when GP screws up his sleep schedule and then suggests emergency bans at like 2 in the morning. You could be there for that. You could be there for that discussion.
You could be the person that makes GP's phone go.
I'm triggered. Finally, if you're looking to watch any of our previous videos, including tournament recordings, you can find them on our YouTube channel, linked just below the stream. With all that said, thank you to each and every one of our viewers, both here now and watching this recording later. We are, as always, Commentary is Magic. I am, as always, Grand Paws.
Big cheese.
Arcat, and?
I'm up to 6 counters now.
Nice. Are you gonna pop them?
How does this work? If you get on a plane and take a 3,000-mile plane trip, does that count as how many counters do I receive?
It's still 1 movement, so 1.
That's true. It depends on how many legs of the flight there are.
Yeah, it's each stop. That's why
You-
driving is superior.
What? Because every stoplight gets you another counter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have like 6 layovers on your way there.
Gross.
At that point, just take a Greyhound bus.
Yeah, true.
Look, if I wanted lots of, yeah, the Greyhound probably gets more stops. Because the other alternative would be get on Amtrak, because that's going to stop like every.
Amtrak would be great.
You're going to have so many counters by the end of that trip.
And then you get portaled and all
It's
the way back
okay,
home,
I have
and then you lose them all.
Allura out. Wait,
No.
Allura? No, whatever her name is.
Which one?
The troublemaker that you can't add.
Oh, the counters, that one?
Yeah.
Opaline.
Opaline, that's her name.
Opaline's just going to eat all the counters.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.